Hello, my name is Sally Gimmon, and I am the owner of thetrustisyou.com, and I actually just started doing a brand new podcast called Stop Paying Capital Gains Now. So please look for that because it just went live today. Woohoo! So what I want to talk about is how to save money legally on your federal taxes. A Spendthrift trust is a very legal document, and most people do not know what it is. So let me go over this. If you have any questions, I do go live every Monday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time, and do a Q&A. Or you can always go out to thetrustisyou.com and set a meeting with me. Now, there are two trusts. One is a business trust for 1099 income, and the second trust is for all investments. So both trusts, that has a very long name, and I want to make sure you know what the name is. It is an irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor spendthrift trust. Irrevocable, it goes from generation to generation. Complex, it can hold money from month to month, day to day, year to year, a decade to decade. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary. Whoever is the beneficiary, they get to make the rules. I'm a very good beneficiary. My entire family, no special rules. Non-grantor. This is set up a very specialized trust that keeps your information 100% private. A person who is never a beneficiary or someone you do not invest with will sign up for the trust and then sign their name away. You do need their social security number. People get hung up on this. I can help people do this. I can be their non-grantor, no problem, or somebody else in the law firm can do this. And then the last part is Spendthrift. This has been in front of the Supreme Court twice, and it is approved, saying that the Spendthrift Trust can enter into any agreement and do business on its behalf, just like anybody else can. Now, with this trust, I don't care if it's a business trust or if it's a beneficial trust, the three things it does for you. Number one, it saves you money. Woohoo! Everyone likes to save money. Number two, it keeps your information 100% private. Now, any of y'all who have an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, those are not private. Depends on what state you're in. In Arizona, it's a corporation commission. Here in North Carolina, it's going to be the Secretary of State. Even if you use a lawyer and do a Freedom of Information Act, they have to tell you information about the LLC or C Corp or S Corp. And then number three, the most important thing, it keeps you from being sued in any lawsuit. That could save you thousands and thousands of dollars. So again, both the business trust and the beneficial trust will help you with both things. Now, people are going to say, how come I've never heard of this before? It is a very specialized trust. 97% of the trusts out there are just like what my mom and dad had, to avoid going to court when they pass away, or to avoid probate. This is what Susie Orman talks about on PBS television. This trust is exactly what the Rockefellers have. In my real estate group, there is one of the instructors, Garrett Gunderson. He wrote a book. Originally was called What the Rockefellers Do. He did have to change the title to What the Billionaires Do. He talks about the Rockefellers Trust. It is called, quote unquote, The Office. It is 7 generations old, 7 generations long, and it's almost 400 people in it, all under one EIN number. This trust is written in the tax codes. So I want to make sure you know this so you can talk to your CPA and they say, oh, it's illegal, it's illegal, it's illegal. It's not. It is written in IRS Tax Code 643B, like boy. Or if you're in the military, Bravo. 643B, like boy. Now, this is a very specialized trust. Only quite a few people have access to this. I have found out about it. True story. Back in July of 2020, I bought a reverse mortgage, bank-owned reverse mortgage. Middle of COVID, they said when the auctions opened again, they would put my name onto it. I bought it for $20,000. It was going to be put on auction at $50,000. That $30,000 right there made me start going down that rabbit hole. One of the books I read, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, is The Creature from Jekyll Island. And when you go out to thetrustisyou.com, the second to last page on the slide deck has certain books I suggest you all read. My favorite book, one of my two favorite books, I'll be honest. I love Dr. Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Amazing book. I use it all the time. And the second book, Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. I honest to God believe there's plenty of there out there to help other people. This is one of the reasons I talk about this trust. I want to help the regular investor in my real estate group. True fact. The average person joining my real estate group is a man who's 54 years old trying to save money for retirement. If you don't know things like this, you could be like my friend Kelly, who wholesaled a house back in, got it under contract Super Bowl Sunday 2021. He wholesaled it, made $50,000, knew about capital gains, but thought he'd have more houses during COVID, but nobody wanted to sell because he could live rent-free. And he's driving Uber 6 nights a week because he has a $900 IRS tax bill every single month. He wants to be my poster child of things not to do. So again, this business trust and a beneficial trust are going to save you money on your taxes, are going to keep your information completely private, and keep you from being sued. 3 important things you should know about. Now, I want to make a distinction between the 2 different trusts. I do have both trusts. I have the business trust because I personally have 3 online businesses, Sally Soul Silver, X's Elite, and I recruit people for Novatech. My brother has a brewery. Congratulations. I'm not a fan of beer, but he's very good at that. He has quite a few medals and things like this. My sister-in-law has her landscape design business. All of this is under the business trust. 1099 income is under the business trust. If you're a if you're a realtor, if you're selling anything online, if you're an affiliate marketer, if you're an online marketer, if you're selling weight loss products, I also have an insurance license. That is under the business trust. 1099 income. Now, to be honest, the only thing this trust does not help with is if you have W-2 income. This is not for you. Right now, I have 6 teachers who are teaching in different school districts. They're getting paid by their school districts. 2 of them have retired and they have pensions. That cannot go through the trust. But they're real estate investors. My one teacher, who is a fantastic fix and flipper, he does all his fix and flipping in the beneficial trust. And then he has his teaching salary outside of that. That I can't help him with that W-2 or with the pension he has on there. So I do want to make that declaration. So the business trust is for 1099 income. I do have 2 different debit cards, one for the business trust, one for the beneficial trust. My big thing that I talk about for the beneficial trust is helping investors. Because capital gains. I don't know how many people know what capital gains are, but I am reading this directly from Tax Tip 2003-29. This is what the IRS says. Almost everything you own and use for personal purpose, pleasure, or investment is a capital asset. Can we be any broader? That is a huge statement. Almost everything. Think about those baseball cards you have. Think about those comic books that you bought for $25 are now worth $100. That's all capital gains. So this is why I'm talking about this, because I want you all to know exactly what's happening. Currently, there's 2 different capital gains. There's short-term capital gains that I use the most in real estate. That's anything a year or less. And then there's long-term capital gains. Now, currently, in short-term capital gains, it's 23.8% on any of your profits. If you're fix and flipping, if you're wholesaling, if you're stopping an auction and wholesaling it from there, anything like that. It's currently 23.8% with past legislation. People don't realize this, but back in November of 2021, those 2 huge bills, one was a transportation bill and one was an infrastructure bill, there is a 2-line thing saying people making more than $400,000, their capital gains are going to go up to 40%. They want the rich to pay for all the debt. I am not anti-government. I love being an American. I served 2 years in the Peace Corps because I have really bad eyesight and I can't have a gun. I served my 2 years in the Peace Corps. I love being an American. But I don't think it's free that the U.S. government, the federal government, says they can take 23.8% of my smart real estate investing. I still pay gas tax. I still pay hotel tax. I still pay food tax. I do go to South Carolina, pay less food tax, I'll be honest. But there's certain things I do to avoid as much taxes as possible. 23.8% is a lot of money. 40%, because you're up at a higher tax level, that's a heck of a lot of money. So that's short-term capital gains. And I know you real estate investors out there going, I could do a 1031 exchange. Go ahead, do a 1031 exchange. With what I am telling you about this Spendthrift Trust, it does away with the crazy timeline of a 1031. A 1031 exchange, you have 45 days to put the property up for sale, find a third party, woohoo, got to find that third party to hold the money, the escrow account, and then 160 days to sell that property. Everybody I know who has done a 1031 exchange has been scurrying, hurrying to be within those timelines. Also, when you do a 1031 exchange, if you follow the law of the tax code, it's like property for like property. So if you've got raw land, it's raw land. You've got a single-family house, it's a single-family house. You've got a multi-family apartment building, multi-family apartment building. Again, this is going to be a whole bunch. Sorry, I've got somebody coming in. So we'll do that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I had a phone call coming in. I thought I handled it well. I have to call her back afterward. A client of mine. So you're gonna have to deal with that. One of my clients, true story. She's 72. He's 74. They had a house down in Tampa Bay, Florida. They're going to make $600,000. They made $600,000 on it. She didn't want the hassle of trying to find a third party, and she didn't want to stay in single-family homes. She took the money that she's saving the capital gains on and the $600,000, and she put it into a real estate investment group, so she can do things like that. She is so happy. After they start the trust, I learned to find out her husband is a retired pilot. He has a plane that he rents out to somebody to teach flying. I learned to find out her husband is a retired pilot. He has a plane that he rents out to somebody to teach flying instructions. Wow, talk about a liability. We got the plane into the trust to do something to help him save money, and so if he can't be sued on anything. Very, very, very important. So again, you can continue doing the 1031 exchange. I'm not telling you that that's illegal. It's just it's a headache with the timeline. You do it with a Spendthrift Trust, you save money easily. That's always important. So now, long-term capital gains, more than a year. I'm dealing with business brokers who are selling businesses. Somebody who had a car wash, somebody who had a pizza parlor, somebody who, Schwann's Home Delivery, those yellow trucks with frozen food. All of that will either be 15% or 20%. The first test group that I had was a gentleman selling 2 car washes in Ohio. He was going to make $2 million. Congratulations, you are going to make $2 million on selling the car wash. He didn't realize he'd have to pay $300,000 in capital gains at 15% or $400,000 in capital gains at 20%. Guess what? He got the trust because he's like, that's a lot of money. People don't realize that. So that's going to be what capital gains are. This is the federal government saying you need capital gains. Now, some states out there, not making fun of where people live, but some states do have state capital gains, New York and California. If you get everything into the trust and only work, the trust is on the federal level. So when you do go to file taxes, it's going to be a 1041, and then you don't have to file state taxes. You can avoid your state taxes too. Now in Florida, there's something about a stamp back. I don't know much about it. My friends who are down there, they're real estate agents. They can tell you more about that. So when you go out to learnwithsallymarie.com, you are going to see the slide deck. You're going to download it to see how you can save capital gains on real estate. I don't care if you're wholesaling, you're wholetailing, you're fix and flipping, you're buy and hold, you're short-term rentals, you're in a REIT. Again, it helps you with all this. Your rent rolls, all the taxes from your rent rolls get through the trust, and you save the money like that. One of my clients was doing the BRRRR method, BRRRR, BRRRR strategy. His accountant, no offense to his CPA, his accountant was saying that was interest income. With that interest income, he was paying $154,000 a year in interest income. The trust defers all that interest income, and he made an extra $154,000. That's a lot of money If we can start saving money like this for you, if you're doing any kind of investment with $50,000 or more, you need to have a spendthrift trust to defer taxes and to keep your information private and to avoid being sued. So that's real estate. When you download the slide deck, the free slide deck at thetrustisyou.com, you're going to see some information from me for 2021 and the first 6 months of 2022. That's all I've done. That's plenty of information. But how I got involved with this, again, back to my personal story. Back in July of 2020, I got the contract for a reverse mortgage on a bank-loaned house in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. The auctions did not open up again until August of 2021. I held it for 13 months, and it sold for $64,000. If it only sold for $50,000, I knew capital gains was going to be $7,500. I didn't want to pay that. I'm going to be honest. This is going to be a little bit controversy, but what motivated me was if President Trump only paid $750 in taxes, why can't I pay as little money as possible in taxes? If he can do it, I can do it. And again, going back to Garrett Gunderson, I do have a copy of his book, and if the Rockefellers can do it, why can't I do it? So I started the trust in September. I'm going to be honest, my dad was setting this up with some of his money because he wanted to help my brother with his brewery and he wanted to help me with my real estate. So yes, my dad paid for the trust. Thank you, Dad. I love you, and I'm sorry you passed away on this. So when the only thing I had to do was 2 simple bill of sales. I had to do the first bill of sales September 1st, 2020. I said on September 1st, 2020, Sally, the such and such LLC is selling the property 1011 Hayden Street in Rocky Mount, North Carolina to Sally Gimmon for $1. Second bill of sale says on September 1st, 2020, Sally Gimmon is selling 10111 Hayden Street to XYZ Trust for $1. I printed them up, I took them to the bank, I got them notarized. I was living in Phoenix at the time. I sent it to the attorneys in North Carolina because it's Rocky Mount, North Carolina. They wrote back to me in an email the next day. Sorry, we're getting bathroom redone. So if you hear noises, that's what you're hearing. So the law firm contacted me the next day and they said, hey, we got your paperwork. We just need the first page of your trust to change the paperwork. I sent it to them by email, easy peasy. When the auction went through in August 28th of 2021, the trust name was on it. I got to save over $10,500 on one real estate transaction. Real estate transaction. So then when you go into back to thetrustisyou.com and get the slides, I show you 6 more properties that I have done in 2022. Not trying to say I'm wonderful, not trying to say I'm brilliant, but there's a thing I do here in North Carolina called upset bids. I have won 6 of them in 2022, and I just won another one here in 2023. Yay, Sally! So back in 2021, I saved $14,000 for that year. And so far for July 2022, I have saved $32,000. So when you think about that, 6 and 6, that's 8, 3, 4. I've saved $38,000 that's on those slides. If I can do this, y'all can do this. Now with crypto investing, it's going to be the same thing. If you're staking, if you're mining, if you're moving from wallet to the board, everything else. I have a little bit of staking where I make 30% rate of return. It's saving me some money. And I have a crypto bot. Not a huge amount of money on my crypto bot. Just one. I'm making $32.78 a day. All going through the trust, saving capital gains. Now, if you're doing any stock market investing, if you're doing any options trading, if you're doing day trading, if you're Forex, or anything else, you're going to do the exact same thing that you do with your LLC. You're going to take off the depreciation. You're going to take off the expenses, things like this. But then when you have the Spendthrift Trust, the 5 ways the beneficial Spendthrift Trust helps you. It defers your capital gains into infinity. 23.8% for short term, 15% or 20% for long term. It's going to defer your interest income. Those of you who do notes like I do, or my client who did the BRRRR strategy, that's a lot of money. It's going to defer your dividend income if you have any stocks or anything like that. It's going to defer your rent roll taxes. And then one thing I haven't talked about yet is also working with royalties. This is kind of interesting. I have now I have 3 clients who are all songwriters. Songwriters in Nashville. It's not a lot of money, only about a penny per song, but when the song gets sung over and over again, they start making some great money. I also have a friend who does NFTs. This is something I learned personally right now, where she had an she did a poster, and then she did 1 of 100, so she did up to 100 posters of it. She sold each one of the signed posters for $1,000. She sold them in 13 days. Those are royalties. They all went through the Spendthrift Trust. It saves a bunch of money for you. Again, when you download the slides, it's several books I have for you to read, and in the last page, it's going to have my information. I am not trying to tell you this is a necessity. This is to help you save money with what you do and how you do it. So if you're a crypto miner, if you're a crypto investor, if you're a stock market investor, whatever you do, it's how you save your money. One of my clients, true story, he inherited a portfolio from his parents. His parents passed away. He's got quite a bit of stocks. The dividends he gets from those stocks, he was paying a lot of capital gains. We sat down with his financial advisor at the financial house that was dealing with this. The only thing we had to do was change some paperwork. Move it from his personal name into the trust name. Yes, there was some paperwork. We help you do that. She's just like, can I talk to my other clients about this? I'm like, please do. Her name is Giselle, and I said, Giselle, you bring me other clients about this trust, you get an extra $600 joint venture agreement. Guess who's brought me several clients already that we're setting them up. So please, if you're watching this video live right now, or if you're going to watch this video later, check out your taxes for 2022. Look at how much you're paying in capital gains, interest income, dividend income, rent roll taxes, and royalties. Think about this. There's a one-time charge for the trust. I'll be honest. Right now, I'm charging $20,500 for the trust as of, what's today's date? January 23rd, 2023. The price may go up. Here is a true story, and I'm not trying to make fun of him, but I got this from a friend of mine. If you know who Grant Cardone is, he only talks about this trust to the people who pay $100,000 with him every single year. $100,000 with him. And then he talks about this same exact trust that he uses, that he sells to them for $50,000. Jeez, $50,000. I could sell this trust for $50,000. I don't want to. I want to help the real estate investors like my friend Kelly, who wholesaled a house for $50,000 and is driving Uber 6 nights a week to pay a $900 IRS tax bill. I do make money, but then I'm helping other people make money too, or save money. So whatever you do and how you do it, the key is if you're making more than $50,000 on any investment, or if you're selling online products for more than $50,000, you should be looking at the business trust. And if you're doing any investments, you should be looking at the business trust. When you go back and download these slides that I have at thetrustisisyou.com, quite a few of the things I've done, I made $8,500 here, I made $14,000 there, because I'm wholesaling. My personal goal for me is to become an accredited investor so I can get into better wholesale deals. I'm doing what's called upset bids in North Carolina. All of this is going through the trust. Again, with my crypto bot, my bottom feeder bot, woohoo! The $32.78 a day doesn't sound like much, but times it by 30 and have it for 4 months, that's a lot of money coming through. It starts paying down bills. So I don't want to make this long. I want to let you know, when you do go out to thetrustisisyou.com, you're going to get the free slide deck so you can look this over to see if it's going to help you, any kind of investments. And then you can also set up an appointment with me. I do Zoom calls to talk to people to show them what can help them with it. I also do a live Q&A on Zoom every Monday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time, because people have questions and some people don't want to come out with this. True story, I was 2 weeks on TikTok. Somebody came on TikTok, used their TikTok handle, it was MK with a bunch of numbers afterwards, and he goes to me, I'm selling a building, put the contract into the chat. Well, we're now friends. His name's Michael. I got a phone call from the law firm. Yes, I write on behalf of a law firm out of Dallas, a private law firm, because this is a patent, very important, a patent trust. I write on behalf of a law firm. The law firm called me on Thursday and said, "Is Michael your client?" I'm like, I don't know. I go, What he was doing, just to give you an idea, he was selling 2 buildings on Long Beach Port for $6 million in cash. Do you know, I'm going to move this over because I need my calculator. I can't do this in my head. Ha 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 ha. Where's my cursor? Where are you, cursor? Let me get the calculator. Of course, I'm going to move this back over here. So $6 million. Yeah, I'd like to be paid $6 million times 0.15. So if it's at 100, because it was long term, he had held these buildings for quite some time, so he was paying long-term capital gains. So he saved $900,000. Now, if it was at 20%, and I'm not the CPA, we put you together with CPAs who know how to file this trust, and they'll teach your CPAs to do this too. Whoops. Times 0.20. And then if he was paying 20%, he saved $1,200,000, either $900,000 or $1,200,000. We are now friends. I mean, I didn't even know him on TikTok. He was following me, and we're now friends because, yeah, I saved him $900,000. We should be friends. So again, if I can help you save some money, especially with it being tax season right now, look at your taxes. You know where you stand. You know how much you're paying in taxes. The key is if you're paying more than $50,000 for any investment, I don't care if it's real estate, if it's crypto mining, if it's stock options, if it's stock market, anything like that. So if you have $50,000 times 0.238, that's $11,900 you pay in taxes. Let's say you do this for 5 years running. So times 5, that's going to be $59,500 you're going to save. I wish you the best of luck with this. Again, my podcast, if you want to go look at it, it's not on Apple just yet. I just got that set up this morning because, God help me, I'm not on Apple, so they had to set that thing up. But there is a podcast out there saying, stop paying capital gains now. That's my podcast. I'm interviewing different people. I have someone who's doing crypto mining, one of the most interesting crypto mining guys out there. I have somebody who does a whole bunch of investing. I have somebody else who is just a regular, I don't want to make fun of Gabe, but he's just a regular guy doing investing. Hey, you and me both. I talk about long-term and short-term capital gains. If you listen to my podcast, please like it. I'm trying to reach out with this. So I don't want to be on this for too long. I hope y'all have a beautiful week. Again, the website is thetrustisisyou.com. The podcast is Stop Paying Capital Gains Now. Take care. Have a wonderful time. And I'm sorry, somebody just asked to join, and I'm hanging up right now because I have a 10 o'clock meeting with somebody to help them save money. Take care. Have a beautiful day.